everyone knows that before a holiday, the inspector sends us a card. Congratulations, happy this, that. Every time he sends a card, I think I can speak from experience. I'm sure all the other clergy can say. Chaim can say it also. God helps him. He engages his daughter. I have a grandchild. The last time he sent me a card, I have a great-grandchild. Every time he does something with that card, it's miracles. He must be a mystical person. So we decided, the clergy, that we're going to pay him back. We got a birthday cake that we all blessed. 6 kids. It's that cake. That's what I want to tell you. So now, congratulations. Let me give it to him. It's right over there. We'll give it over there.
Is it kosher, Rabbi?
Well, let me tell you something. I tell you what, if it's not up to you, just give it over here. Okay? Yeah. And we all would like to wish you happy and healthy years with prosperity, longevity, and happiness, and may you rise to the top. Happy birthday to you. I have to do it. I have to get it out of my system. Happy birthday, dear inspector. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, Kate, you want my fork? All right, the meeting's over. We're going to keep the cake in the back. We're going to cut that, so when we finish, everybody can get a piece.
I'll hold it.
If anybody wants to move up, there's some chairs up here because I want to really everybody to see the screen. But before we do that, I want to introduce some important people here that are here today, our clergy liaisons. So you got Father Perry, Reverend Blue, Victor Ortiz, Rabbi Perlstein, and Chaim Deutsch.
And we all would like to wish you happy and healthy years with prosperity, longevity, and happiness, and may you rise to the top. Happy birthday to you. I have to do it. I have to get it out of my system. Happy birthday, dear inspector. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, Kate, you want my fork? All right, the meeting's over. We're going to keep the cake in the back. We're going to cut that, so when we finish, everybody can get a piece. I want to personally thank them for helping me get our message out to the community and everything you do for us. Anytime there's a situation in a precinct that we need a clergy member, whether it be for ourselves or people in the community, they're always there for us, no matter what time at night we call, or no matter what day of the week. So I want to thank you for everything that you do for us. And Chaim, I want to thank you for supplying all the food for us in the back there. Thank you very much. Oh, people make a living off of this, where they know people that carry firearms. And what they do is they call this number or they call the precinct, and they let us know the person carrying the illegal. Say you have somebody in your congregation that says, my father was in the military, he died, and I have a gun in my house. I don't know what to do with it. Or I found a gun in my house, it could have been my son's gun. Whatever it might be. You get that gun, you bring that gun to us, we're going to give you $100, we're not going to ask you any questions. 66 guns off the street last year. 66 guns. What does FTAP stand for? Formal Trespass Affidavit Program. That allows us to go into these buildings and to do verticals. We talked about that before, what the cops were doing to look for the drug dealers. Anybody in that building that does not live there, that does not have a right to be there, we automatically arrest them. What this FTAP does is the owner of the building is signing a piece of paper saying they were allowing the police department to come into their building to arrest people that do not belong there. So we don't have to look for him if we find somebody in the building. So if we're doing a vertical and we see 4 guys on the stairway and we ask them, do you live here? No. What are you doing here? They have no answers. Automatically, they get handcuffed, they get brought into this precinct, and then they go to jail for the night because they do not belong in the building. If they're visiting somebody or they live there, of course we're not going to do that. But if they don't articulate the reason for being in the building, we're locking them up. GPS systems, computers, stuff that's more than $1,000. I don't know why people would do that. Think about it. You park in your car, you don't want anybody to see that. Put it in the trunk if you're going to leave it in your car. Don't leave it on the front seat or the back seat. When people see it, they're going to break into your car. It's a good number. I used it. Sometimes we get unsolicited credit cards. Etch something on that electronic device, whether it's iPhone, whether it's Xbox. in your house, it's a BlackBerry, it's a Game Boy, we'll put some inscription on there and we'll file it within the precinct. Now, we don't have to damage it. Sometimes we'll etch a number in there, or sometimes we'll put it in invisible ink. The reason for this is if somebody steals something from you, say they go in your house and they burglarize your house, and they take your Xbox, nobody's going to know what their serial number was. And if we find that Xbox later on, we can't say it's yours because there's no identifying marks on it. So we'll go out to your house, and we'll do this for free for you. We'll put some kind of a police department serial number on it. So if we do discover it later on, we can trace it back to you and you can get the problem. And these are all the surveys that we offer for free. Crime prevention is our maximum. #1 stolen car in the precinct last year. Nissan Sentra, the second. Camry, third. Civic, Civilian Police Academy. If anybody wants to join, it's actually 7 o'clock tonight. We had 2 people graduate the Civilian Police Academy, and both of them are from Shaman, who helps us out tremendously here. If people don't know who Shaman are, I'm Deutsch is in charge of that. They're a group of people in the southern part of the precinct who are civilian patrol. They drive around and they look for people committing crimes. And when they see somebody breaking into a car or committing a crime, they call us, we go there and we lock them up. So if anybody's interested in joining this, I think it's a great course to join. It's 15 weeks. You go once a week now?
Yes.
You go once a week, we'll pick you up, we'll take you to One Police Plaza. It's almost like you're going to the academy. Everybody that goes to this really now understands what the police department does. You have a better feeling of what we do day to day. I think it's a great thing. So if you're interested in that from the city, if you want them to do a cleanup, if you see, I don't know, an abandoned house somewhere, if you see a building with all graffiti on it, they can come out also, the city, that's in your pamphlets, they'll come out and they'll do the cleanup. Deaths of people not wearing their seatbelts is drastically higher than people that put their seatbelts on. So this is just a small video to show you. This guy's falling asleep in his car. It's not terrible, so the kids can watch it. It's not terrible. He's in a car. Of course, he doesn't have his seatbelt on. He's dozing off a little bit. He's driving. It's very quick. Now look what happens to your body. Look at him. He doesn't have a seatbelt on. Where's he going? Look at him. He looks like he's dancing. Now watch him. He wants to go back seat. So look what could happen to you. I mean, thank God it's not worse. But people, I don't know if you realize, we go to all of these really bad accidents, people get ejected. If that was a smaller car and there was a window back there, he's going out of the window. The car is going to be somewhere and he's going to be probably hit by the car behind. How many people did we lock up last year for driving while intoxicated? If anybody wants to join auxiliary, anybody in your congregation, the auxiliary program, we have an auxiliary officer in the back, you can take some pamphlets and fly.
But thank you, Ralph.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for
Thank you. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hey, Bill. Hey, Peter. I could spend the next 20 minutes saying hello to everybody. All right. Thank you for Ralph. This forum it's incredibly important, and you know, words like working with the community and in partnership with the community. Sometimes if they're used too freely with words only and without the substance that goes behind it, they could be nice cliches. Like when we see people in the street or family and we say, "How you doing?" and we don't really want an answer, right? We didn't really expect one. Or when people say, "How are you?" we say, "Fine." We don't say, "How are you doing?" These basics. This is a basic in policing that really, it's what we mean to be all about. And sometimes in our daily grind, there's a tendency for us to forget that it's more than numbers. It's people. And in this 7-0 precinct and in the commands in Brooklyn South and the NYPD, we strive to constantly know that it's not stats. Every one of those stats represents people. And when we talk about building relations, those relations should be real. And there's no better place for us to open our doors and our books and introduce our people other than clergy, because for a bunch of reasons that's important. A couple are just because anybody who chooses a vocation of clergy and bringing faith to others surely deserves the respect of anyone that could give it to them. And in this case, local police officers that signed on to protect and serve the community. So this is really, and just listening back there and hearing the coverage at the different, and the thank yous for the coverage at the different houses of worship was very, very touching to me, because there's a tendency for all people to take relationships for granted. So sometimes if you know, if we're not called, if we're not reminded, if we don't hear the thank yous, you know, we could get off our game a little. So that's, I guess, that's really what Ralph Monteforte's doing here is it's more symbolic as well as substantive, this meeting. Besides the information he's sharing, it shows that the 7-0 precinct is here for you. And the thank you for those 2 officers. Did you say there were female officers?
Yes, sir.
Well, because I was standing with all those male officers, and I told them that until you said female officers, I was going to tell them it was probably them. But it may have been over here, Claire or Joanne, or so. But that means a lot. And even the reason why I just brought that up again is so, in case it wasn't heard by the uniformed officers and supervisors in the back, that we hear it. Because when we're out there, we don't get as many thank yous. Because we're not always delivering good news. So I just thank you for your partnership, for your real activism. Thank you for making, and Ralph and everyone here, thank you for making the words not cliches, making them mean something, the relationship.